You know, there is a scam in every street corner in the country. But they are ignoring it and doing their thing carefully. They are doing very well. They will. We can. We will.
And last question to you, Mr. Seshan, is that from Mr. Vikram Hemachandran. If as a student I wanted to get into politics after college and get elected, how difficult would it be for me, and what do I face? What kind of problems I would face?
I'll tell you a story. Way back in the 50s, we had a minister called Gopal Reddy. Gopal Reddy came of a family in Andhra which had millions and millions of rupees in their bank, hundreds of acres of land, one of the richest agricultural families. He was studying in Voltaire, and in those days, with all due apologies to present-day vice-chancellors, we had great stalwarts as vice-chancellor. Madras University had a vice-chancellor called Lakshmanaswamy Mudaliar. He was vice-chancellor for 25 years. The University of Andhra at Voltaire had a vice-chancellor called C.R. Reddy. So Gopal Reddy goes up to C.R. Reddy and says, Mr. Reddy, sir, I want to become a politician. What do I do? So he said, don't get into it. It's a mess. This was in 1939 or 40. Don't get into it. It's a mess. Gopal Reddy was a very impertinent rich man. So he said, sir, swim or sink, I'm going to join politics. So C.R. Reddy drew himself up to his full height of 6 feet 6 inches and said, Gopal, you may swim, you may sink. Take care you don't stink.
Okay.
Now this gentleman who wants to become what? What does he want to become?
He wants to join politics, and if he gets elected, what
all of life is politics. Why do you want to join politics? Every day you are in politics in your house, you are in politics with your parents, you are in politics with your girlfriend, you are in politics with your girlfriend's other friend. How much of politics is there all over the place? So please don't have to actively join politics. Do something good. You will automatically get into good politics.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Chandrika, given the complexity of problems faced by youth of today, what should be done to encourage them to enter public life and maintain high levels of discipline and integrity?
Mr. Seshan says all people over 30 should be thrown out. I just wanted to make sure that that was heard. Integrity you don't become a leader one day suddenly. You don't start to show integrity one day suddenly. These are very, very fundamental values that are inculcated all the way through. And every time you can tell who are going to be the greater leaders from the time they are in school and college. It isn't that, So I just think when you start to think about youth of today, there's a lot of learning. The world itself is changing. You're in a much more global world, much more technologically connected world. But the values of what needs to happen for the head to change is really, to me, much more important. One of the things I tell the presidents of a lot of the universities in the US is, we spend so much time teaching our kids in America reading, writing, and arithmetic. Of course, we have amazing curriculum, 6,000 courses for the students. But we need to teach them how to manage their mind. Because whenever I work with the kids and I see how amazing kids fail because they don't have the commitment and they don't do their best, and I see kids that are not as talented, not as smart, simply not get where they need to get to, or simply excel beyond recognition. So to me, it really comes back to get a grip on yourself, and there's a lot more you can go to, and your values.
Mr. Seshan, you mentioned about the college to achieve the world-class standards by making some of the departments places of excellence. What, in your opinion, needs to be done to upgrade some of our departments in MCC to reach that world-class standard?
Hire the world's best people as the faculty. Don't mind the cost. Take your Department of English as a first example. I don't know who is the head of the Department of English. I mean him, no offense, please. But you need to convert the Department of English into world standard English. We all learned Wren and Martin. Today you don't teach my children Wren and Martin. And what do? As I said, you get SMS English. That won't do. So you take all 10, 15 years, 20 years ago, when I was cabinet secretary for want of anything else to do, I came here. Francis Sundar Raj was principal at that time. The college was in difficult times. They were fighting a battle with the internal battle with some of the teachers in court. Those days, I hope, are over. Luckily, they are over. Now, I suggested, you see, you can't upgrade all the 30, 40 departments. You want to try and upgrade a department like physics or chemistry or biology, it will cost an enormous amount of money. But those things will come later. There are departments, this college is strong on religion. Why don't you upgrade your department of religion to world standard? Hire world-class faculty. Okay. It is around individuals and the faculty that the institution will be built. So when you ask me the question, how do we upgrade? We upgrade by hiring the world's best people to come and stay with us and teach our people. I'm not casting aspersions on existing people. But your reputation must carry to the world wide that you have the best faculty in the world in select departments, in fund department, in 2 departments, in 5 departments. And goodness will attract more goodness. And in 10 years you will have... I want to make a suggestion to you that when you reach 2038, 25 years from now, at least 30 or 20 of the departments of Madras Christian College should be such that nobody will say, I want to send my child to Harvard or Yale or Berkeley or Stanford. I want to send my child to Tambram. Please reach that condition. Okay. You can work on it at the college management. It makes me angry that we are not doing it. It does not cost too much money. It costs us only vision. Please have vision. I would want to make a request to my good friend Basant Raj. Please have vision and you will rise.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Hi, excuse me, I'd like to add to this. Because, a few years ago, as part of the grant that I got involved in was in fact to create a world-class business program for MCC. We picked the one, we didn't go after English or we didn't go after physics and chemistry, but we picked business, which is the area we all came from. I think there's a tremendous opportunity. We could give some of the, not quite the business schools, perhaps not IIM Ahmedabad, but we can give a lot of the second-tier business schools a run for their money. There's an incredible opportunity, and I would add 2 more points to what Mr. Seshan said. And working with 2 major universities now in a very intensive capacity, it's not just about the faculty. The faculty is a critical ingredient, but we need to get some world-class students in and make them need blind. Because it's not just, we've got students who are extraordinary students, rank holders, who maybe can't afford to come here. So this can't simply be a place where we only have the people that can pay the money to come in, but if we can create programs to attract the best students, couple them with the best faculties, and strategically pick a few areas that we decide to give not just a narrow vision of how we're going to become best in India, but how we're going to become the best in the world. Because you can do it narrowly, but we can't do it for the whole college. It was an extraordinary experience to understand what was possible and what was not possible working with this initiative. And I second Mr. Seshan. I think we would be remiss if the college, your board, together with the alumni, don't come together to make this happen over the next few years.
So it must be a joint effort to find excellence both on the student side and the staff.
And I want to add something to what Madam has said. Western business education taught business leaders how to achieve what in our ancient learning was called kama and artha. How to satisfy desires. Kama doesn't mean lust, as many people wrongly imagine. Kama means desire. You want this, you want money, you want possessions, you want status, you want a house, you want a car, you want a wife, you want a husband. That is kama. The root to that is artha, which is money. They thought that business was all about making artha. I want to add to that 2 dimensions which only Indian philosophy has taught the world. That it must be done through the root of dharma, and that will only lead you to moksha. Moksha is salvation not in the business of spirituality. moksha in reaching the highest level. So dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Please start with this as the basis of your business school. Don't merely imitate those people who teach my children what is NAV, what is PV. Anybody can teach NAV. Nobody can teach dharma.
Okay.
And dharma is not a Hindu concept. Please don't say, why are you coming in Christian college and talking about Hindu dharma? I am not talking of Hindu dharma. You go to the church on Sunday and say, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom forever and ever. Amen. Or you go to mosque on Friday and say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Or you go to your temple on Friday and do something, you are addressing the same God. This is the only culture in the world which has taught everybody that there is no clash of civilizations. I can read the Bible as well. I have brought and nurtured the Bible. And if the salt loseth its flavor, with what shall it be salted then? Do you remember reading it in the Proverbs? If the salt loseth its flavor, with what shall it be salted then? I went and told Rajiv Gandhi, I said, in your politics, they don't understand it in English. Where have you taken this quotation from? So I said, I have taken it from a book called the Bible. So for people who didn't understand it, my Hindi friends in the north, I gave them the translation of this, which is my own, my very own. I don't know what it says. You have a Hindi version of the Bible? I haven't laid hands on one yet. अगर नमक में नमकीनियत नहीं है तो नमकीन चीज़ बनाएंगे कैसे? नमक में नमकीनियत नहीं है, नमकीन चीज़ बनाएंगे कैसे? So my point is, we can teach the world a whole new set of business. Please teach the world the new business of 4 propellers, not merely artha and kama, but also dharma and moksha. If you do that, you will become the world's best institution.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for making that. We need to have our own brand of teaching business education. Chandrika, Swati Gopinath of BBA wants to ask you, being a musician, how did Madras Christian College encourage your talent? What were your memorable moments, especially the ones relating to music? Ones relating to music. How did Madras Christian College encourage you to develop this music talent? Or is it your own?
During college, we had a class of great musicians, kit makers, and sort of drama kings, really, I should say. And so basically, and a professor, the head of the department, who literally took us to All India Radio every chance he got. So we were out there performing. So one year, for example, I performed Dhammaro Dham at IIT Madras. And the next year, my good friend Dawson took that same song and he made a complete skit of it. And then the whole class sang it for the next whole year. So not only was I singing, but all the songs that I was singing was sung by the whole class. So we did a lot of music at that time. Though over the next several years, I lost the music and learned many of the languages through music, with French and with Portuguese and with all of that, and then brought back music in a very intensive training about 10 years ago.
It's a continuous exercise. We do not sing just for programs. It's a question of singing all through, and that is what makes a person interested in music. I must thank all those who raised these questions. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Principal Dr. Alexander Jesadasan, may I request you to kindly step forward. Come over here. They just stand there. So today, in the midst of this August gathering, I have the honor to announce a pledge by Chandrika Tandon of $1 million to the Madras Christian College. Please sit down. Please sit down. The modalities of this pledge will be worked out in the near future with Chandrika. However, apart from the pledge, I believe Chandrika's aim is to enhance the climate of giving by the alumni for the betterment of the college, be it their time, professional inputs, or financial support. Thank you very much, Chandrika. Thank you very much.
Mr. Principal, could you please respond to that?
You don't really expect a gift at a time when there is very serious discussions and presentations going on. I think the very kind and good gesture of Madam Chandrika Tandon in donating $1 million to the Madras Christian College is received with great reverence and appreciation. On behalf of the Board of Directors and on behalf of the MCC Association and all the members of the MCC family, we very warmly receive that donation from Madam, and I'm sure and I'm confident with my staff and the students that we shall strive hard to work towards the goals and objectives that are there before us, and particularly taking leads from what our revered alumni have mentioned, Mr. Seshan and Mr. Chandrika Tandon. And I'm sure with God's help, we shall take the college forward in the years to come. Thank you once again.
And on that note, may I ask Mr. N.R. Krishnamurthy, our Vice President, to propose a vote of thanks.
Distinguished President of MCC Alumni Association, Mr. K. Maman, the College Chairman, Mr. Besant Raj, Principal of MCC, Dr. Alexander Jesdas, eminent guests of honor, Sri T.N. Seshan and Mrs. Chandrika Tandon, fellow alumni, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to propose vote of thanks at the end of this memorial program organized by MCC Alumni Association. I wish to thank the President and the Executive Committee for taking these efforts in a commendable manner. A well-known Tamil work on social life, Thirukkural, stated that, Ondra Ulagathu Uyarntha